Welcome back to the Career Build Series. This is part 64. I keep flip-flopping, changing my mind on this. So I've been trying not to use any vehicles or too many vehicles that have actually not made on screen. I kind of want to keep this, the vehicles made. And so what I kind of realized is, there's a lot of vehicles that I've made that I'm never going to end up getting used again. And there are a lot of vehicles that I want to incorporate in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to primarily try to use vehicles that I made on screen, but I'm also going to use some vehicles that I've made previously. And so this is the Mudskipper. This one, Big Men Boys competition for the Lighthouse Keeper boat. So, I needed a little vehicle that I can move around. And again, I didn't want to get into a building video where it was going to take me, 100 hours to 100 hours to get going, so I decided, you know what, I'll just go ahead and use this. Let me see if I can remember how to drive this. Parking brake was on. That would be why. Alright, so Mudskipper's is an amphibious truck, and so what we're going to do this video is, the Katie did, the helicopter that I was working on, is not really in a state where we can use it for missions. So what I decided to do was, you know what, I'm going to still do primarily the vehicles we use are going to be vehicles that, that we build on screen, or I build on screen, and then I'll supplement in some with some vehicles I've already built or stuff that I'm building on the side. That way I'm not having to duplicate stuff that I've already built and then not ever getting to use my other stuff. So I figured this is a good case right here for using the Mudskipper, as I need to get from Spy Cakes to, let me make sure I get this name right, Draymore. And so the Mudskipper's great for doing this. So, I figured use this as my little transpo vehicle. As you can see, I took the water. It's amphibious. This is on the workshop. If you're interested, I'll link this in the video. And then we're going to use another vehicle that I previously made, which is, I have to buy this island. I've yet to do that. Purchase this island. Now we own Draymore, so we can do some air vehicles. And I didn't put the brake on the Mudskipper, that's why it is rolling. Alright, let's see if I can get this recalled into the workbench. Alright, parking brake, or start stops there, and where's parking brake? Parking brake. Alright, so there's the Mudskipper. It's on the workshop. I will link it. Alright, good. Put that back, and then I want to look at the Hummingbird. So the Hummingbird took me a very long time. This has been released for a long time, so this is also in the workshop if you would like to use it. The Hummingbird is a little search and rescue plane. It's a VTOL. It's a tilt wing as opposed to tilt rotor. Works really well, has a lot of features, so I really wanted to get this in the build series as well. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to supplement some of the stuff and use some stuff that we already have. And so this I can go do these couple of transpo missions that I have. So if we look on the map here, we have 2 people who need to get to the oil rig. This is nice and fast. Those missions are pretty stale. They've been there for a while, so I want to make sure I get there and get them done before they expire. I don't want another case like we had before. So this way we'll be all set with getting, hopefully, these guys there. So let's set a waypoint and let's get going here. I have to try to remember how to run some of the stuff. What is up with that? Okay, something's up with my HUD. Huh. Let me see. This is weird. That's one of Sky's HUDs. And it's always worked, so it must have been an update that screwed it up. Because here's the camera unit here. Huh, that's very interesting. Let me look really quick. I don't want to spend a ton of time working on this, but okay. Yeah, what is up with this? Huh. That's weird, dude. It's reading. I wonder if something screwed up with this, that it doesn't work anymore. That would be too bad. Okay, anyways, I'll go without it. I'll figure it out later. But that's too bad. That's one of Sky's HUDs that was working really well. I don't know what's up with it. Yeah, see, it's showing myself. It's like looking through the monitor. It's supposed to be looking at a monitor and reporting back a HUD picture. So I will look into that. So let me start trying to remember how to work this. Okay, here we go. Parking brakes off here. Let's go wings full up. Let's get off the ground. Let me turn on my gyro. Okay. And then let's see. We'll start increasing some prop here. I think I have to do it. Yeah, it's controls are a little bit different. I need to fix them a little bit. Alright, let me get going here. I don't know what altitude I'm at because of that being screwed up. So let me put in 1,000 feet. Put 800 feet. And then let me set in my ADF system. And then see where that's going to. Bearing 2 is 89, so we'll enter that in. This is kind of an older system than the one we have on Brigeau. That's disappointing. It must have been something they did in one of the patches that screwed up this HUD because I haven't touched it. So, yeah, if something on the workshop that you're using or trying to use breaks, make sure just throw a comment in there so I can fix it. I don't want you guys work with something that's broken. So I can't tell our speed, but we should be doing close to 200 knots right now. Yeah, we should be doing around 200 knots right now. So we're going in fast, 83. So this system you have to keep updating, which is realistic to a real ADF. But you can see, it's hard for you to tell because without, we are already about here. So this is a very fast aircraft. This is Harrison right here. This is the military base. We're right about here. There's a tower on fire. I was almost going to take the Rotodyne out and... see, I don't see the fire, but one of the towers was on fire there. So yeah, kind of the decision was I really, eventually I wanted to get us going with the home ship, and so I'm like, we have to use some vehicles that I have not built on screen. It's just, some of these are going to take me a ton of time, and so I can supplement out stuff that I need now and again by using that. Alright, so here we are. The guy's right there. He's by the, he's going to be by the hangar. Let me take off my altitude hold, put a 0 in there. Let's shut off the heading hold, 0 in there. Let's raise the wings all the way up. And I should be able to go down. And we'll start to drop here. Go. I have to be careful with dropping too fast here. There we go. I have to be careful dropping too fast here. I just put the throttle down too much. I have to use more prop than throttle here. But we're coming in nicely now. So, yeah, we can see the guy should be standing right there by the sign, I think. There he is. And I'll grab him up. I'll go grab the dock at the hospital. And then the two of them need to go to the... oil derrick. So this of course now needs to be fixed. So I need to look at what's up with this. Let me look on the other side of it. It's actually facing backwards, so that could be a problem. That maybe one of their patches they quote-unquote fixed. You can't have backwards HUDs anymore. Let me look at that. I doubt it, but I'll need to look. Alright, so we're down. Let me just put some bunch of negative prop in and throw on the brake so that we can get going. But that's Hummingbird, as you can see. It's really fast and it's an efficient vehicle. So, hello, sir. Hummingbird's one of my favorite vehicles I've made. It's just does everything really well. Does everything I ask of it really well. So, okay. Alright, let's get the prop pitch back up here. Okay. It's about like I think it's like around 30 is my max speed for this, 30% prop pitch. That's set on the next waypoint here. It is the hospital here. Alright, we should be there in no time here, so let me just get moving. Yeah, so this vehicle took a long time, partly because it, you know, I wanted the flight characteristics to behave very much like a real airplane, and so with being VTOL and all that, I really wanted some advanced, you know, not advanced necessarily, but realistic flight characteristics. So this took a long time to get that tuned in and working well. You know, also stuffing modular engines on the wings and making everything movable took some time. So I'm actually not even going to use my navigation system here to get there. As you can see, that's it right there. So people often overestimate how big the map is in Stormworks. It's pretty small. You can, even in like kind of stormy weather like this, you can see you know, quite a ways away, and so you can actually navigate VFR visual flight rules pretty well. Alright, let's get over here. Alright, so there's the hospital. Let's start raising the wings back up, slowing down. That was one of the big things that took some time getting working, was the wings, being able to tilt the wings and have it behave itself properly. That takes a lot of tweaking to get that to work well. Just need to drop the throttle a little bit, but not too much. Drop the throttle too much, that's when you run into problems with this. Like, I'll go to negative 10% prop pitch. You can get a faster descent if you use the altitude hold to do it, but try not to. Alright, so I'm going to go right for the helipad. Be a little bit of a walk, but I know that the ground is nice and level there. I'd rather that than to land on uneven ground. So I'm going to start bringing up my prop pitch here, just to try to arrest this descent a little bit. Where are my lights? Landing lights. Landing lights are on. There we go. That helps. Alright. Got a little bit of wind. I'm trying to face into the wind because I want to make sure that it doesn't get blown around when I put the brakes on. Okay, so that's down. Let's throw on the parking brake and let's jump out. Oh, excuse me. There's door latch. Alright, let's grab the dock. Doctor to rig, there we go. They did good labeling on that where you can easily see where people need to go. I need to turn on my nav lights. So part of the things I want to do with the Hummingbird when I was building is I want it to be very narrow, and if you notice, you know, it's the same width as the Katydid currently. Katydid is going to get wider. I want to make that a little bit beefier. You know, I wanted this as narrow as possible. That was kind of what I want to do with this build here for the Hummingbird. Alright, so you can see how nice and quick this vehicle is. You know, again, one of the reasons I wanted to make a, wanted to kind of incorporate some of the stuff I built previously was it was just going to take me too long to, you know, kind of rebuild stuff, and then the old stuff that I really love, I wouldn't be able to use, you know, so I'm just trying to get a pic for the video here. There we go. I don't know if I necessarily like the raindrops falling, but I made a song about that. Let me see. Okay, so I entered in the waypoint there to the rig. It's telling me 210. Let's go 210. Let's go to 1,000 feet because we might end up over the mountains. And you can see the autopilot's going to do everything. And, you know, I think on this build, like 30, like I can't tell my speed because the HUD's broken, but about 30% prop pitch is gives us max speed. So going to prop pitch a little bit. Prop pitch can be complicated as it is in real life. You know, the way I like to think of it is paddles on a canoe. So if you take your paddle on the canoe and you have it, and you have the blade perpendicular to the way you're pulling it. So say you're pulling it north-south, right? You're pulling the ore from the north back to the south. That's your stroke, right? If you have the blade turned so it's the thinnest portion of the blade, right, it goes right through the water. So you'll see people do this when they're paddling, where on their backstroke they have it flat against the water so that they're getting a good pull, and then they turn it sideways and they go through the water and it doesn't have much resistance. So you think of that with a prop is, as you increase blade pitch, you're able to do more work, but you need to have big muscles to be able to pull a paddle that's, you know, completely turned, 90 degrees to the stroke. So you kind of get a trade-off here where, you know, as you add more blade pitch, you are ending up doing more resistance, and it slows down the RPM of the engine. So for every one rotation of the prop at a set blade pitch, you get a certain distance forward. And so sometimes, like in this, your max speed is actually like 30. Is 30%, because if you went more than 30%, you're actually slowing down the engine. Now that's great for this. Watch this. If I go max, you can hear the engine slowing down. We're going probably 30 knots slower, but we're burning a ton less fuel. By making those blade pitches at 100%, we're able to burn a ton less fuel. So even though 24 is our fastest speed, we burn a lot more fuel, we make a lot more heat. So this is actually, sometimes you want to go less pitch to get a faster speed. You know, the katydid, we're able to go 100% just because we don't have, we have an RPS limiter. So what I'm going to end up doing with the katydid is putting in more gearboxes, and that will allow us to, you know, I want about 30%. And that's how it is in real life. When you go up at high altitudes, you have certain blade pitches for certain altitudes and certain power settings, and some blade pitches are good for, endurance. So your RPM comes down, you burn less fuel. So that's actually reasonably realistic. So you see the helipad there. This is a very nice stable vehicle here. Let's go down, and I'm just going to, I'm just going to dip my nose a second. I'm going to kind of dip the nose to pitch, because that way I can then see underneath me. But as you can see, start seeing, you want to use your peripherals a lot. That's why people get, you know, kind of fixated in quote-unquote need. They quote-unquote need third person. They're not using their peripherals. I was looking here as I was coming in. So you can see as the pad came in around the sides of me, well, I know that if the pad's here, my tail is going to be accounted for. Alright, so I just spooled down the engines here. Let me grab these guys quickly. I'm terrified that the mission's going to end and they're not going to be on. I'm not going to, I don't know where these people have to go. I'm going to just toss them. Yep, there's one. Stick there. Okay, that's pretty good money too. That's 3,500. This thing sips fuel. When we put it back, I'll kind of see what the fuel is looking like. But, you know, the nice thing having a, there we go, oh, that's 2,000. So that was what, 5.5, something like that. That's not bad. All right, so, you know, that was 5,000 right there. And then we burn very little fuel. Nice thing with having this tilt wing with these blades up high is I can kind of walk around freely and not have to worry about eating the prop and dying. Let's see, where's my fuel gauge? I haven't used this in a while. There's fuel. So look, see how we've used maybe about a quarter fuel? We've used, I don't know, maybe, let's say 1,000 liters, right? Even if we use 2,000 liters on this, we still make good profit on this. So let's go ahead and let's go back to Dremore. Okay, let's get going here. So let's start increasing my thrust again. So I like to go up, and once I get to a green bar, that kind of tells me that's where I need to be, and then I'm going to start increasing my prop pitch about 25%. Doesn't have to be perfect. You notice the light moves. The light is on my steerable nose wheel. So let's, we have Dremore in there. It's telling me about 320. Let's go ahead and put in an altitude of 1,000. You know, so we're going over 200 knots with this, and that's one of the nice things. So I need to put a backlight in this. That's the indicator for my wing tilt. And then once I get a little speed, I can just dump it straight forwards. That was the transitions were tough to kind of program in this to get it to work right, so that it didn't freak out. That was one of the things that took me a ton of time. 323. Alright, so this still does, so this does like I think almost 215, 230 knots, something like that. With around 30% prop pitch. When I go to 100, it's still doing about 200 knots, but it's so much more fuel efficient. Let me show you that kind of proof of concept with, you know, theory with some prop pitch. So here's 24% prop pitch. I can't show you the speeds because that's broken, of course. Let's look at, where's RPS? Wing tilt, RPS. Here's the RPM. Look, we're doing 972, so we're burning whatever fuel that is, okay? Now let me go to 100% prop pitch. We're turning those blades, right? And so we're doing more work. And so that's causing our RPM to slow down, but we're doing more work. So this is more efficient. We're slower, but we're more efficient. Because we're more efficient, let me actually go full throttle here, it doesn't matter. But so now we're down to 537. So we're in the neighborhood of, we're a little bit more than half of the fuel burn. And we're doing 3/4 of the speed, at least. So it's much more fuel efficient. So I can show you that in a second. Where is my fuel gauge? I keep losing it. Alright, so see how fast the fuel gauge is going down? Now let me start bringing this prop pitch back, get those engines sped up. See how much faster that's eating up fuel? Alright, so that's why, you know, often you're going to want to go this. You're also producing a lot less heat. Where's my heat? So I have an automatic, see, we're already here. This is the benefit of this vehicle. It's so fast. You know, this has an automatic overheat protection system, so that if you're getting close to having a fire, it will automatically reduce your throttle, which is the best way to do it. See, we get a little shaky there. But that's it. That took me a long time to get that set up where that would behave itself. Alright, so here we go. We're dropping in. Let's see what nav lights needed to come on. Strobes need to come on. And then I have a cabin light here. That's actually my backlight, so I don't need a backlight. I just forgot all the features I had on here. So this HUD needs to be fixed. I'll check one thing before I despawn it. This HUD is, I believe, backwards, just for space reasons. I need to see why it's screwed up like this. Something's up. Yeah, if I can't figure it out on my own, I'll ask Guy if he's had any reports of an issue with it. This guy's a master at HUDs. I don't even bother doing that. My lure is very weak, so I don't even bother with much lure. So like right now, instead of me tipping forwards, I can actually bring the wings forward a little bit, and I can keep my deck angle nice and flat. And as you can see, we're coming down and we're going forwards. So, and then as I get to where I want to be stationary, I just roll them all the way back up. And then I'm going to add some prop in there just to slow us a little bit. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I'm going to just pitch my wings forward just a hair, and we'll actually taxi in. This has, like I said, steerable nose wheel. Let me just add a little bit. What's up? Yeah, we gotta be careful. I didn't want to hit too much prop here. I don't know why my nose wheel's not... Is my nose wheel not moving? I don't know. Oh, my nose wheel's moving. I was doing a roll instead of yaw. Okay. But as you can see, nice and steerable. I can just steer right in the hangar. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that HUD didn't work, but that was a good, quick little mission. Kind of wanted an actual mission to do, and I've been wanting to do that one. The Katydid's just not ready yet, so you know, I'm gonna supplement in some things. Like I was gonna have to build a a new ground vehicle on screen just to get us to be able to move from base to base. So that was kind of nice, just using the Mudskipper, and you guys can kind of see some of my other toys and see what's up with what is up with those. All right, so this is the Hummingbird. I actually meant to let me check this out really quick. See why. I gotta shut that light off. I'm gonna be looking right at it. All right, I need to try to see what's up with this HUD. See, I can't see that side of the HUD, so something's up. I need to check on it. You know, I'll definitely do that off screen. But that's the Hummingbird. I'll link to the Hummingbird and the Mudskipper in case you guys want to use those. Those have been out on the workshop for quite a while. So, all right, thank you for watching.